Hey, this is Damon with Orion Coolers, and today we're going to talk about archery. One of the best things about being an archery hunter is you're the first one in the woods. Most places, archery season is the first one to open, gives you the most time of the year to be in the woods hunting. But there's a lot of options on the market. I get a lot of questions, hey, I'm a rifle hunter, I'm thinking about getting into archery, what do I need? There's no good answer for that, so I'm going to talk you through all the different options available and let you decide what's best for you. Now on my right over here, we're going to start with a bear takedown recurve. This is a classic design, been around since the 60s. Then we have in the middle, the bear moment. This is a more modern compound. Then on my left, you have the bear physics crossbow, which is now the state of the art in the crossbow technology. Which one's the best for me? Well, it's up to you. But some of the key differences we're gonna go through. First off, we're just gonna start with how you draw. The bear takedown here, all of that force and all of that draw is in my muscles. The whole thing flexes and bends. There's no let off. It doesn't become easier to hold once I draw it. So there's a lot of motion involved. This tends to be drawn and released in kind of one fluid motion. Now a bow, like a compound, has what's called a let off because of the cams. So as these rotate, it actually is gonna break over and I can hold that bow back much longer, much easier. Then when you get into the crossbows, now once this is cocked and drawn, it's basically 100% let off. You can cock the string back and that bow can stay cocked with no effort from you whatsoever. So that's one of the differences. Next key difference is gonna be the sighting systems. You'll notice that on a recurve, I have no pins, there's nothing. So basically I'm shooting this bow instinctively. You practice a lot and you learn to associate the tip of the arrow with your target and focus on the target where you want to hit. And you just learn how to shoot. And it takes a lot more skill, but it's also very rewarding. Now, once you get into compound bows, you'll start seeing more modern sighting systems. You'll have pins that are set at different yardages. And you'll have kissers to line up on your cheek, a peep on your eye, so that you can line up everything. And it's almost like having a sight. And so that helps a lot with aiming and accuracy. And then when you move into the crossbows, now you have a full scope system like a rifle. Aiming becomes more instinctive and then gradually increases in the tools to help you do it as you go across. Let's talk about what you need to shoot. Typically on a recurve, you're gonna have a glove or a finger tab. You can shoot bare finger, just not a lot. It's gonna make your fingers go numb and sore. Now, once you get into compounds, usually what's called a release aid. So you're gonna have some kind of a trigger system and release to help you draw and help you release that arrow accurately. And then once you get into crossbows, all you're gonna have then is a cocking device to actually cock the bow, put all the potential energy into it, and then be ready to shoot when you're ready to shoot. For me, my comfort level, accurately hunting with a recurve is about 20 yards. Now, once I move up into a compound, I'm more comfortable on most deer-sized game to about 40 yards. And then with a crossbow, now you can tend to push that even up to 50 to 60. So now then, 20 to 40 to 50 as far as my effective ranges. And then you have to think about your style of hunting and how you prefer to hunt and just what the terrain gives you as far as your hunting options. Now with a recurve, for me, it's kind of like a running and gunning feel. I really love to sneak around the woods with it. And also hunting from a tree stand is okay with it. A compound bow is deadly from a tree stand. I particularly like hunting from tree stands with a compound. They're also pretty good in ground blinds, but when you get into ground blinds with compound bows, you have to really watch how you draw. The roof may hit. That makes drawing a recurve in a ground blind very difficult because it's a very long bow. You tend to hit the limb on the top. With a compound, now you're more compact. You can fit that in a ground blind better. Then what's really nice in a ground blind is something like a crossbow because the horizontal layout versus vertical, I can get that into a window and shoot out very accurately. There's also not a lot of motion associated with crossbows. So think about those factors. The other thing that's nice is if you have guests who are coming and they want to hunt archery with you, like I live in Tennessee, maybe my dad wants to come hunt here with me and he doesn't want to fly or bring his own weapon. It's very hard for me to just give him a bow of mine and a compound or a recurve and say, just go hunt with it. It's not very ethical for the animal and that's not a good decision. Something like a crossbow though, there's not a lot of personal tuning involved. I can basically have this set up, cock it, load an arrow, the sight's all sighted in with the scope, and he can hunt with that legally and ethically and be ready to go the moment he gets off the plane and arrives at the house. Those are some pros and cons of the various archery options. I encourage you to get out, shoot each one, try each one, go to your local pro shop, learn and think about what's best for you, what you like, and just go have fun hunting the archery season. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and comment below.